Guest is also another theater professional. She's the founder, artistic director of Toto Too Theatre Company. So please welcome the amazing and talented Susan Lyles.
I know that you're in love with him. I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes.
Yeah, have a seat. Relax. Kick up your feet.
Floor.
Is the couch a little too high for you?
It's a little high.
No
or a little
worries.
short, one of the two.
No, people don't see feet on TVs, so it's fine. You know this. So you run Toto Too.
I do.
First off, what is Toto Too Theatre Company?
Toto Too is the really the only theater company dedicated entirely to the woman playwright here in Denver. Yeah. And that's important because women are the majority in this country. We buy the majority of theater tickets. And we're represented by about 21% in our plays being produced nationwide. So we're trying to change that.
Exactly, I like it. And you have one more show coming up this season.
We do. It's Flowers in the Desert by Donna Hoke, and that opens in November. Runs November 2nd through the 18th, and that will be at the Champa Street Studios, which is on the back side of the DCPA.
Exactly. And how long have you been in Champa Street now? Because that's kind of a new thing, isn't it?
It is a new thing. We just started with the Next Stage project in that space last November.
Okay.
So we're now booked through the end of this year and then through all of 2018 as well in the same space.
Very cool.
So I'm very excited.
So what kind of got you to start Toto Too Theatre Company?
Well, I'm a woman. And I had reached an age where you have to kind of change directions sometimes because they're really, the roles for women start to dry up when you reach a certain age. The really good roles start to dry up. I also had just had my second child. So my memory was not very good. So
you just need something else to do, right?
Exactly. I need to add more to my workload, yeah. But I knew that being on stage was not an option for me because of taking care of my kids and the lack of brain space. So I decided to start producing and directing.
Exactly.
And 12 years later, I'm still here.
Exactly. And before that, you were an actress as well.
I was, and I still do act a little bit once in a while. It's hard to do everything, as you know.
Indeed.
Something gets lost in the mix if you try to do too much. But yes, I started out as an actor. I did film work, commercials, print, and all that stuff.
Very cool.
I was in LA and Chicago for a while.
Do you guys both have a favorite production that you've produced over the years?
You guys have a lot, and they're still
Yeah,
coming.
We're still doing, so it's really hard. I think my most favorite was a play called Heads by E.M. Lewis, which was a hostage drama set in Iraq.
Right.
And it happened about the time, the Iraq War started kicking off. It's a very strong piece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Michael?
Paragon Theater did a production of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf back in I think it was 2007, 2008, somewhere in there. And we had Martha Harmon Party and Sam Gregory in it and Barbara Andrews. And it was this and Ed Cord was the younger guy. And it was like the way Virginia Woolf should be done. And I can't take a lot of credit for it because I was just a producer, but that's the one. And it was also one that sort of put us on the map, I think.
So we've kind of briefly touched on this, but why is it so important to be producing works by female artists?
Mostly because it's not getting produced.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to say, and it's not always about men, and it's not always about our biological clocks ticking away. We've got stories. We've got to take on the world that needs to be shared.
Why don't you think those are being produced? Those stories are being produced.
That's a tough one.
Gosh. Why are women still not making as much as men? Why? It's all wrapped up in the same thing, I think. We still haven't reached gender parity in any other, employment situation, let alone the arts.
Yeah. And if you guys have a dream for Toto Too, what would it be? Where's 5-10 years down the road in a perfect world?
I am actually looking at doing the Ensemble because I think it's a very strong model of an acting company. So having a strong acting company, a space we can be in forever instead of bouncing around like we have done for several years. And I'd like to produce 3 or 4 shows a year and then take those shows across the country. Because I think Denver is primed to be an oasis for new works. And a launching point. for New York and LA instead of us going to New York and bringing everything
Right.
here. I think we are really in a good position to really start, going, hey, guess what?
Yeah, and you guys are really at the nexus of a lot of that, so that's
Yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you find some of those new works that you produce?
I have open submissions. Women send me their work from around the country
Yeah.
and around the world as well. I also have a very strong connection to our local women playwrights, so I use them a lot with our play crawl
Yeah.
every year. It's all local women. And I try to really, I think we've got such good talent here.
Yeah.
And I really want to grow that talent.
Great. I agree. We're running out of time, but talk about the play crawl because I think it's one of the funnest nights of theater in this.
The play crawl is our annual fundraiser. We do 10 two-minute plays, and they're done in venues up and down Tennyson Street, art galleries, restaurants, and the audience goes from play to play to play. So they're broken up into groups of 10 or 15, and they just move around. So it's like a pub crawl without the alcohol during it. You can drink before and
I
after.
think we need to get a play crawl into Northland.
There you go.
Absolutely, I'm game. I'm totally game. Yes.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you both so much for coming on tonight.
thanks.
Yeah, of
Fun.
course. All right, stick around. We'll be right back.
Don't you love him madly? Don't you need him badly? Don't you love his ways? Tell me.